Hello and welcome everybody to Equations of Linear Relations Lesson 2. Today we are looking at writing equations using the slope-intercept form, which we learned in Lesson 1. And now we're just going to kind of take it to the next step and try to figure out how to write some of these equations given different circumstances. So just a quick reminder, in the form y is equal to mx plus b, mx plus b, m is our slope, and b is the y-intercept. So all we need to do is find those two pieces of information, and we can write an equation for the line that we have. So the first question says, write the equation of a line passing through the point 0, 2 with the slope 5 over 2. So we know the slope. So our equation now looks like this. Y is equal to 5 over 2x. And we have to find the y-intercept. But you can see here this point 0, 2. When x is equal to 0, this is the y-intercept. So we can say y is equal to 5 over 2x plus 2. And that's the answer. That's not so bad, but lots of the time they're not going to give you that exact information. You might have to come up with it a little bit. So let's go on to the next one here. Each line on the grid passes through points with integer coordinates. In each case, state the slope and y-intercept of the line and determine the equation of the line. So I'm going to do L1 and L2. You can see L1 is this line, or L2 is that line right there, and L1, L2, and L1 is down here. So we need to know the slope of 1. So we need to find some integer coordinates. It looks like, great, let's use a different color. Right here and right here. So I know that my slope is rise over run. My rise is +1, and my run is +1, 2, 3. So that means my slope is 1 over 3. And it just so happens that I highlighted my y-intercept as well, right? That's the value where it crosses the y-axis. So my y-intercept is going to be -4. So I can write this equation as y is equal to 1 over 3x. Okay, hang on. 1 over 3x minus 4. That's L1. L2, the same idea. We're looking for integer coordinates. It looks like right there and right there will work. So my rise is -1, 2, 3. My run is +1, 2. So my slope is, my rise was -3, my run was 2. And if you look, I actually used the y-axis there, or the y-intercept, sorry. So I can write that in. The y-intercept is +2. All right, we start with 0 here, 1, 2. So that equation is going to be -3 over 2 x plus 2.
That's negative?
All right, sorry about that. I got interrupted. So we've got the two equations for L1 and L2 using the graph. Now we'll try a couple of problems here. So determine the equation of the following lines. So it gives us, it says here the line, we're looking for an equation of the line that's parallel to this one and has the same y-intercept as this one. So we need to know what information we're trying to get. If we're using the same y-intercept here, then we're going to take -7. So we have, sorry, I guess I could do it here. Y is equal to mx plus b. In this case, our b is going to be -7, or our y-intercept, so we can say -7. Now we need the slope. Well, we are looking for an equation of the line that's parallel to this one. And we know parallel lines have the same slope. So we are going to use 1/3 as our slope. And there's our answer right there. So they give us all the information we need. It's just up to us to kind of pull out the pieces that are important and leave the rest. Okay, so the next one says the line passing through 0, 9 and perpendicular to the line joining 2, -6 and -5, 0. So we need to know our y-intercept. But it actually right here, it tells us that the line goes through 0, 9. And you know that when x is 0, the y value is the y-intercept. So this becomes 9. Now, we need to find the slope as well. And the piece of information or the clue they give us here that we can use to find the slope is that we're looking for a line that is perpendicular to the line that joins these 2 points. So what we want to do is find the slope of the line that joins these 2 points, and then we'll take the opposite reciprocal. So we're going to use the slope formula. M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We know that we can make either of these 0.1 or 0.2, so I will say x2 y2 and x1 y1. So I can say 0 minus -6 and -5 minus 2. 0 minus -6 is +6, and -5 minus 2 is -7. So that's the slope of the line that joins those 2 points, but our line is perpendicular to that. So in order to find the slope, we need to take the reciprocal or flip that and then change the sign. So instead of -6/7, it's +7/6. And now we can say our line is y is equal to +7/6x plus 9. There we go. The last thing I want to talk about is horizontal and vertical lines. So the trick with horizontal and vertical lines is that our slope is either going to be 0 or undefined. So they don't really fit the mold of y is equal to mx plus b. But the way that we can do this is this line right here, L1. I'm not going to go through all these questions. I'm just going to show you this quickly. This line L1 goes through the point right here, y is equal to 4, right? That is the y value of 4. And you can see that line, doesn't matter how far it goes out to the left or the right, it's always at y is equal to 4. So the equation of that line would be y is equal to 4. That's it, because it is always at 4. It doesn't matter what x is, y is always equal to 4. So the same thing with the one L2 down here. So it gets a little backwards because people think horizontal line, it's got to be x is equal to something, but the horizontal line is a constant y value, right? Constantly always at y is equal to 4. Same with down here, we have the y value being at -6, and because it's a horizontal line, it's always going to be at y is equal to -6. So the equation of that line is y is equal to -6. And then we have a horizontal or a vertical line right here. And so we just need to figure out what value of x this is sitting at. -1, -2, -3 right there. So the equation of this line would be not any mx plus b or anything like that. It's just going to be x is equal to -3. Because there's going to be an infinite amount of y values, right? Because the line goes up forever and down forever. but it's always going to be at x is equal to -3. So here's like a nice general way to look at it. So the biggest thing with that is people get mixed up with which one's x equals and which one's y equals. So if you have a line going this way horizontally, it's going to be y is equal to wherever the y value is. If you have a line, a vertical line, it's going to be x is equal to something, wherever value of x it's at. So don't get those mixed up. It's hard to get them straight because the x-axis is horizontal and the y-axis is vertical, but the lines are opposite. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.